This day 129 of Zohar Pshat, and we are on Daf Tesayim and Rav, about the ninth line down. V'ruach Elokim. Now the Tohu we said is the bow is the positive part, like the snow we said, which rose out of the Tohu, which was the negative part, which was klipos. But now things change. The ninth line down, V'ruach Elokim, Ruach Kudsha, the Nafik Me'Elokim Chaim. This Holy Spirit comes from the living godliness, let's call it. V'dam Racheves Al Pnei Mayim, which is floating on the water being the toe. So there are klipos there. And beside the Ruach Noshiv, after this wind blows there, it's a strong wind, Avrir the Kikuchan Migohub Solis. There something very, very fine comes out of that subsolis, out of that refuse, which is the waters of Tohu. Ketisa de Zuama, like it's a wrapping of pollution, and the Zohar Chemes gives a whole discussion. It's like if you boil a pot, there's a little film which comes on the top. That's the film. As you skim off, that's what we're talking about here. Kat ivriv atznif. When it's clarified and it's separated, separate off, like a sneef is like a film, some sort of thin garment, so it's like a film which comes off. Ritziv zimna of a train, it keeps getting refined time and again. Ad ishtar ahu zuma leisa zuma klau. So the Tohu, which is the water, remains as the Zuma. The pollution is removed from it. Kad hai Tohu ivrir, when this Tohu is clarified, v'yitzrif and refined, navik minei ruach gedola v'chazak mefarikorim v'shaber slime. There emerges from it a very powerful wind, which can take apart mountains and break stones, and that is. Hahu dechama Elyo. That's Elyo. Nabi saw it in his vision at Har Sinai. The Ruach Gedolah, the first thing he saw was Ruach Gedolah, the Chazak Mefarik Horim Meshaber Sloim. So this is the first thing he saw. And then, Ivur Buhu, B'Yitzrif, it gets more clarified and more refined. V'Yimnei Rash. And then comes the Rash, which is what Elyo saw afterwards in his vision. You see, V'Achar Ruach Rash. V'Ivur Choshech, and the darkness gets refined further. Bichle barazid leish, and it gets included in its secret, which is fire. Rash Eish, after the earthquake, the noise, comes the Eish. Iver Ruach, and then its spirit gets, I guess the spirit of the fire gets refined. Ska barazid delay, and becomes included in its secret, called the Mama Daka, which is what Elio saw at the end of his vision. So Rabbi Ari Kaplan, in Inner Space, goes through the vision of Elio and it describes these as various different barriers which a Navi has to get through in order to get to Nevuah. These barriers are klipos, but they are the klipos, obviously, which have great potential in order to be broken through. They're volatile somehow, and they can be broken through to get to the other side and to get to Ruach Nevuah. But there's like barriers which exist there until you get to the Kol Demon Badaka, the still silent voice. And Tohu, here actually before you get to Derech Emes says, Gematria of Tohu is Bina. Not sure how that works. Don't know how the Gachi is. I guess it's some sort of misbarcotton type thing. But anyway, mamish, something which is to cause people station, which has no substitute. Bo bechesed davar sheish mamish. Tohu is in chesed, something which has significant substance to it. Bo hu davar hamabish es hato, something which encloses the Tohu. So evidently, Tohu is a very volatile, and it's the potentiality which things have to be used for kedusha, but it's unformed, and it's the experience of trying to use things which are unformed, amorphous, and not well defined, is evidently something which is a very frightening experience and very volatile and very violent experience, as witnessed by Eliyahu Navi in his Nevuah. Bo is much more easy to deal with. Bo has substance. It can be recognized. It's formed already. So using something which is unformed and making kedusha out of it is much more difficult than something which is already formed. So both of these have potential kedusha. The klipas are somehow were removed by this ruach l'kim rachefes av ne'emayim. Where they went, that's a separate question. But they're not here. Now we have Tohu and Vo. After Tohu, first Vo was emerged, and it was refined, but by its emergence from the klipos. Then the Tohu itself, and it could be that this is the idea of klipas noga, the klipa which is potentially can be used for kedusha, but it's not easy to do. It's different like dvar mitzvah, the dvar rishus. We know is much more difficult to use the shem shamayim. The dvar mitzvah is easy to use the same shamayim. So one could say that the Tohu is that those things which are divrei rishus, klipas noga, things which are optional activities which a person is supposed to uplift and use the shem shamayim, whereas Bo is definitive. It's holy. It's easy to be misboinin to understand how to use it l'shem shamayim. So that's the and that's he says. Torah as leismi gavna v'lo diukna doesn't have a color or form. V'lois galil b'roza diukna and it wasn't included in the secret of a form. Hashta iu b'diukna kan mistaklin be leisli diukna klal. Now, I'm not sure exactly read that line. V'lois galil b'roza diukna hashta iu b'diukna kan mistaklin be leisli diukna klal. The kula is levusha lisla bashar bar hai. I'm not sure exactly how to read this line. Maybe we'll leave this tomorrow because I don't know exactly what to do with it yet. But in any event, right now. So let's leave off with Toad the leispe gavan velo diuka. Velo iskala beraza diukna. It's not included in the raza diukna. We'll leave what hashta means till tomorrow.